Saturday indulgence, second cup of coffee. Sounds like Charlie wants to come back in. Hey, boy. He had a hard night. There's some pretty bad thunder and lightning. As you can see, it's a little wet out there. Still planning on going for a ride today. About a 40 or 50 miler. Trying to leave before noon to do that. It's just at 10 o'clock now. Slept in a little bit. I fell asleep last night before I kind of wanted to, around 10 p.m. Hey, Charlie. Where you going? I was kind of exhausted from my ride. What you doing, boy? You hungry? I need to... Hey, come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. I'm trying to do something. Come here. Go in here. Jeez, not easy. Go on. Go into your crate. I'll come back in a minute. I'll be right back. Whew. Okay. So, fell asleep at around 10:15. I think I had 2 beers, and that might have been 1 beer too many. I got a little bit too comfy, a little bit too toasty, and fell asleep. But did an 88-mile ride yesterday. Got some goodies, basically everything I need to complete my bike build at this point. So, there it lies. I'm not going to be able to ride it today on my planned route, which is okay, and probably for the best, because I don't really want to be adjusting anything on a 40-mile ride or be unsure of like the performance of everything, considering all the new stuff that's on this bike. And so yeah, I wanted to go over the things I got yesterday from Performance to complete the build. And take a sip of this coffee, try it out. Try it out. So, I had gone yesterday to Performance. It was sort of my last stop of the day. And I did get some new tires, which definitely are going to come in handy soon. The ones I have on my bike currently are getting really close to being worn out, as per the dimples. And so I got 2 28mm Continental Grand Sport race tires, which those will be great. I'm excited for those. The derailleurs came in. So we've got the front derailleur 2x10 braze on. Got that going on. Got that long cage Tiagras rear derailleur, so that'll be good. It's so nice to like feel what these bushings feel like in here. It's just like, it feels new, it looks new, there's no dirt. Like, this derailleur will never look like this again once it gets on my bike. Little thing, a routing guide for the derailleur. 2 new water bottle cages for the fork so that I can still carry maximum water capacity, which I was doing some math in my head yesterday. In fact, if I could find a calculator of some sort, because I can't really do it on my phone, I want to figure out just how much water I'm carrying with me at any given time. So let's go over here real quick, do this calculation before we finish with all the things that were purchased yesterday. Excuse me, Mr. Computer. Come over here. I'm pretty sure that I'm carrying a little over 3 liters of water when I go on these rides, which is pretty awesome, because that's like pretty much as much water as you would carry if you were like max capacity on like the Appalachian Trail. Geez, I don't remember my password. Probably should not show the world. Let's see if that worked. Cool. Alright, so let's figure out how much water I'm carrying with me. Let's turn on these lights, see what these bottles are. So, 1 800 milliliter. So, 800 plus... This one is 1,000 milliliters, I believe, because it's a liter. And it says 980, so... For the sake of science, we'll keep everything specific. So 980, And then I have 2 of these bottles, which are the same, and I believe they are, what are they, 24, 710. So, that's 1420. So, that's 3.2 liters. That's awesome. When I did the double century ride a couple weeks ago, a couple of the guys, I think I've already said this, but it's relevant to mention again. A couple of the guys on that route either had two of the guys had small ass water bottles and couldn't have been carrying more than 1.5 liters of water, which for a 200-mile ride in the summer is certainly not preferable, to say the least. And so pretty stoked about how much capacity I have for all that water. And again, for this setup with this bike, you got 2 water bottles here and then 2 on the fork, and I'm gonna definitely mimic that on the new bike build. So, going back to the bike room, I'm gonna finish up the goodies I got yesterday. So I had gone there with these old Shimano pads so that I could get some hopefully new ones. And hopefully these are resin based, and I was going to get some metal ones if they had them, because the SL has flat mount brakes front and back, and so if I was going to use these calipers, I wanted to have the strongest possible stopping power, and I don't really care about noises or sounds. Like if a brake makes noise, especially if it's a metal pad, that's the sound of stopping. And so I'd rather stop predictably and reliably than have a brake that's quiet. I don't give a shit about that. I don't ride with people very often, and so no one's going to be complaining about what my brakes sound like. So they did not have any compatible pads at Performance, so that didn't work out. But they did have some adapters. They had flat mount to standard. I don't know what to call them. I guess standard. They had adapters for the flat mounts to go to the old standard. So got those. They were cheaper than the pads would have been. I think they were like $11 a piece, so 14. Yeah, $14.99. So cheaper than new brake pads, and then they allow me to use the old standard. So for this bike, I've got a BB7 there. I've got is that a Tektro up front? I might harvest the BB7 from my cross/gravel bike and put it on the SL, and then maybe put like a Pro Max or something like that on that one, because that BB7 especially, and I think I'd probably grab that rotor too and just kind of do a straight up switch out. I don't really need to mess with the rear brake. That's a BB7 rotor back there too. I could put a different rotor on that. Anyway, the rear brake is fine enough, and in fact I think the adapter that I have is for a 140, so 140 in the rear, so I'd actually have to shim it up to 160mm to even work. So again, this stuff, it's going to take a little bit of time to get this all set up properly and to make sure that everything works properly as well. So I didn't want to have to worry about that today. I could have started on it last night, but again, I was tired, so too much beer, fell asleep. And too much beer is literally just like the number 2. Too many beers, too many. One too many, rather. I wanted to have at least one. But it was an 88-mile day. Felt like pushing it to 100, but ultimately it was like 8 o'clock, and I was like, it's not worth trying to find 12 miles, because that's going to take close to an hour to get that, and who cares really. So I certainly had a full bike yesterday, but ton of shit on it. What was that noise? Ice cube maker? Some fucktard trying to break into my house. Anyway, yeah, so good day yesterday. Looking to repeat it today. Hope I stay dry. It's been some bad weather coming through, like tornadoes in Iowa and stuff like that. All those fronts moving down here. Hey Cheebler, you can come out now. I'm done. You can come out. I'll feed you. So I gotta get these dogs fed, finish up my breakfast, pack up and head out. Today's just gonna be a 40-mile ride, and hopefully I'll be able to mow the grass after that, and then come home with plenty of time to also get this bike stuff worked out. And again, if not completely set up today, maybe definitely finished by Sunday night. So it's exciting. Everything's moving along. Everything's looking good and things are promising. So with that, is that the other Tektro? I think it is, yeah. I don't really trust that brake. Anyway, all right, leaving it there for now.